Welcome back, guys, to the Mensa game. I don't know how to start these videos nowadays, but I'm just gonna say welcome back to the Mensa game. And yeah, I haven't done these kind of videos in a while because I've been uploading a different kind of video, which I hope you guys have watched, and that is part of my self-development X computer science series. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed those kind of videos. And yeah, please provide any feedback via the comment section and also via my Instagram. Thank you. Okay, so regarding today's video, I'm going to be touching upon self respect. In the past episodes, we talked about self acceptance, but today we're going to be talking about self respect, which is also sort of connected. So, what is self respect? Well, as the name suggests, it's about respecting yourself. What is respect? Respect is essentially admiration, understanding, and acceptance of something. Let's combine the two, which is self acceptance. No, sorry, not self acceptance, self respect. Self respect then means you have admiration, understanding, and acceptance for yourself. And that is the two joined together. Now, self respect is super important in our lives, and I've noticed the importance as of recently due to the many things I experience on a day to day basis. And I saw the disastrous, not disastrous, rather, I saw the impact whenever I did not have self respect. The first symptom was that I was super agreeable. For example, if someone said, I like pizza, I would say, I like pizza too, though I don't like pizza. Or if someone said, I want to go here, and though I didn't want to go there, I would still say, okay, let's go. So I was making compromises despite me not agreeing with them. And yet again, this gets me on to another point where essentially you are a second priority in your life. You're no longer the first priority, you are the second. You're putting everything else, including other people, as the first priority, which is a problem because you're prioritizing other people's emotions, how they feel, and so on before yours. For example, you're ensuring other people are happy before you are even happy. And that's, I mean, evidently, and in the surface level, that's a big, big problem. Because at the end of the day, it's super important that you are, you're responsible for your emotions and you put yourself on the first priority list to ensure that you're catered to as effectively as possible. And often, when we put ourselves on as not a priority, we're essentially saying that we are not as important as other people. And automatically that says we don't have respect for ourselves. Another thing is that us humans have inbuilt values, which is developed from, or that is developed from a young age and is consistently developed upon as we get older and older. And often these value systems are what is very important to us. We often adhere to these value systems to cultivate happiness, cultivate direction, clarity, understanding, togetherness. These value systems are super important for building who we are. For example, one of my value systems could be discipline. Another value system could be commitment. Another could be loyalty. Another could be hard work. Another could be ambition. There's so many value systems that are available and are developed as you get older and older. So essentially, when you don't respect yourself, these value systems are not being catered to. They're not being respected, and essentially they're being sidelined. And this happens when you put yourself as the second priority. Your values are not prioritized. Other people's value systems are prioritized, right? Other people's value systems, and that may be, I don't know, going out, or that could be making lots of friends, or that could be maybe working hard or overworking. You never know, you know? Other people's value systems are prioritized, and that's a problem. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Often you need to make many compromises for a relationship to work. But if this is a day to day motive, this is a problem. This is a big problem because your life is not really based upon your value systems or satisfying your value systems. It's based upon satisfying other people's value systems, which is a big problemo. So, let me tell you a quick story as to why I'm thinking about where all these three aspects I've just talked about sort of come into play. And I've talked about this many times on my channel, dude. I talked about, the last two videos, moving on and also being alone during Valentine's Day. Those two videos were based upon the same sort of topic where, I went out with a girl and we were seeing each other for around 6 months. However, I told her I liked her and you want to start seeing each other. She said that no, I'm not really interested in a relationship, which is completely fair. She's a lovely person. I don't really judge people for making a decision. However, after that, I sort of tried to rekindle the same sort of relationship where I sort of lied to myself, saying that I want to see her just because I want to be her friend. But in reality, subconsciously, I still liked her. I still liked her a lot. And honestly, I wanted to change her mind. I wanted to make her like me so that we could sort of, be in a relationship. And sorry, my laptop just turned off. And this was a big problem because you already automatically see that I am disobeying my value systems. When you have self respect, first of all, you don't lie to yourself. You're extremely real with yourself. This is where the acceptance kicks in. Self respect contains this level of acceptance. You gotta accept the fact that I'm doing this because I like her, not because I want to be your friend. You're not lying to yourself, you're accepting yourself. Second thing is that self respect is about saying, what is the best thing for me and my value systems? For example, one of my value systems is commitment. I value commitment. When I'm in a relationship, I value commitment. I value being with somebody, and especially when I share personal things, I value a strong commitment and bond. Another thing I sort of value is, receiving the love I deserve, right? If someone's not providing the love I deserve or not not formalizing a relationship I deserve, why would I go after that? I deserve better. I deserve something else. And more importantly, I deserve to move on. So when I was trying to rekindle this relationship, I was disobeying these value systems. I was not moving on. I was lying to myself. I was getting the love I didn't deserve. No, not love, but rather I was getting the feelings I didn't deserve. And I deserve better. You deserve better. Everyone deserves better. And it's so important to just realize when your value systems are being compromised. And you're just trying to satisfy an imaginary sort of situation or another person's value systems. Now, you see, I could have easily gone on and said, okay, I want to go out with you and so on. But again, this is a lying to myself. It's compromising on my value systems. And essentially, it's playing into this fantasy, which isn't real, which could be real. But sometimes it's super important to realize when you're making compromises, but it's based upon a sort of false reality. I gotta accept and understand that this relationship isn't gonna work out, and it's super hard to say, but it's bloody true. It's real. You gotta be real with yourself. You gotta accept the facets of life, and this is reality. I think acceptance is a super strong part of self-respect. And also understanding. You gotta understand the way life works, and this is life. There are gonna be ups, there are gonna be downs, there are gonna be middle parts, there are gonna be so many parts, and you just gotta accept it and move on. So that's when sort of the idea of core values come into play, and I sort of realized that, right, these are my core values. Let me cater to them. And there's so many values you probably have. You can think of so many words, so many aspects, and you can write them down on paper. However, there are always these core ones which will always stick with you, which is, you know, discipline, hard work, understanding, mutual commitment, or loyalty, and effective usage of time. Yeah, I'm just thinking of so many things, but again, you can go off on a rocket ship. And these are things you essentially value so much. And this again is very subjective. I'm not saying that one thing is wrong and the other is correct. Everyone has different values and value systems, and it's really dependent on who you are as a person, an individual. So nothing is wrong, I would say. So, right, so when did I actually have some self respect for myself? That's a great question. But as of recently, because I've studied this phenomena, I studied this phenomena of being in this realm of lacking self respect. I was disappointed. And let me truly tell you, I was disappointed each and every time I compromised on my values. Each and every time, because I realized that I was doing something that was wrong. For example, when I was trying to rekindle that relationship, I knew I was lying to myself. I knew that I was not moving on, and I knew I needed better, and I deserved better. Sorry, I was about to swear, but I wanted to move on. I want to move on. I want to become a better me. So that's what I'm trying to say is that it hurts when you're compromising on your values. And this is what I realized as of recently. I've told myself that it's time to prioritize myself. It's time to put my values first. And when you put your values first, what I realize is that you pull the necessary people into your life. The people who are right for you, the people who align with your value systems, and the people who are just who align with you. I know I said that before, but who align with you. Simple as that. And this is what I did as of recently, and it hurts a lot because it hurts not to fall back into that pattern of compromising on yourself. It hurts so much. It hurts like shit. But you gotta do shit. So you gotta do things which you don't like sometimes, and things which are gonna really benefit you in the future. So, yeah, I think that's just a message for me today. I mean, self-respect, and I'm feeling the impact of having some self-respect. Automatically have a smile on my face because I know that I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm doing the right thing, and I feel that I'm being catered to finally. I'm not lying to myself. I'm not playing around. I'm not playing these games no more. I am playing a game that I want to play with the values I respect and with me at the front. Let me reiterate, it's very important that you do compromise in relationships if you are in one. But it's also important to say and dictate your sort of value systems because that makes you who you are. If you sideline them, you won't be too content with who you are and how you move through life. So it's super important that you do prioritize your value systems and also make compromises sometimes when someone else has different value systems or different ideas and different things they want to do. And that's a whole different story. I'm not really you don't really need to be a relationship expert, but yeah, maybe that's another video to plan. But that's all I'm trying to say. It's that you need to prioritize who you are essentially. And yeah, that's it. That's it really. And yeah, it hurts a lot. I don't know why I'm saying it hurts a lot because you're breaking a pattern. You're breaking a pattern of doing things you normally do and actually saying, I need to stop that pattern and I need to start another pattern, which is starting to cater to myself. Starting to respect myself. Simple as that. Simple and easy to follow. And it's not easy. I keep saying words I don't really mean, but it's not easy. What I mean is, it's easy when you get the hang of it. And you start appreciating the journey as well. And let me tell you, everyone has hiccups. Everyone has hiccups. Everyone lets the ball roll, slips, go in different directions, up and down. This is life. This is life, and I love life. I love when I let the ball slip. When I start doing things I don't want to do, because you learn so much. You learn a multitude of things, which is going to be very beneficial for you when you grow up, when you tomorrow or whenever, it's super important, and I'm very happy that I've experienced these things. Thank you, guys. That was a very fun episode because I was thinking about this for quite some time. I aim to release this video after my second new animated video, which is part of the self-development x computer science degree series. Please give some comments on that and some feedback. Thank you, guys, and see you next week. Rock and roll and have some fun. See you.